Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about Halloween My Way by Somer Canon with a wonderful cover by Betty Rocksteady. Love her cover work. And this is from Left Hand Path Books. There's their little logo. I'll tell you right now, I ordered this book with the special Halloween bundle, and I got a bunch of stickers and a metallic charm bookmark and a pin, all sorts of great stuff. I don't know if there's any Halloween bundles left, but let me tell you, I'm going to skip. I'm all over the place. For the Too Long Didn't Watch folks, 5 out of 5 stars for this short story collection from Somer Canon. We'll get to what it's about here in a second, but I highly recommend picking it up, and if you can, grab that Halloween bundle if it's still available. I don't know if it's only available for until they're all sold out or for a certain length of time. You might not even see this video. They might not be available by the time this video airs, but check out her store. I'll have a link for it. Anyway, Halloween My Way. Just going to read the back cover copy because apparently I'm getting very, very lazy. Indulging in spooky delights is one of the best things about Halloween. This holiday is most fun when the tricks are as delicious as the treats. In Halloween My Way, you can find plenty of both. Spirits creating mischief, wicked witches' cats, cemetery shenanigans, possessed decorations, and spiritual morality checks are all on offer for the reader's delight. Halloween My Way contains 5 short stories and 2 seasonally themed blog posts, all saturated in the holiday spirit. Dare to have a look inside these pages, and oh, happy Halloween. All right, so, as I said, 5 out of 5 stars for this. I absolutely loved it. We start with a little introduction from Somer Canon before we get into the stories. And Mischief is the first story, and it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to talk too much about like the actual story things because short stories hard to talk about without spoilers. But something is in town for Halloween, causing mischief, and I like where Somer Canon goes with it. These aren't necessarily your dad's or your granddad's fun little spooky Halloween stories. They can get dark, and Somer Canon isn't afraid to maybe cross some boundaries. Mischief, really enjoyable story. I'm getting a text message, but you don't care about that. Jeffy is the next story. This is the one about the wicked witch's cat. And this story did not go where I expected. We're sort of introduced to Jeffy's history, and then we have this young couple moving into this house. Jeffy shows up. I expected things to go one way. They absolutely did not go in that direction, and things get crazy. I love unexpected. I love crazy. Great story. Unfortunately, not a normal table of contents, so I have to sort of flip through because I don't remember. Then Boneyard. Cemetery Shenanigans is what it says on the back. That's what I will stick with. Again, some crazy stuff happens. It's spooky. It goes in unexpected directions, and it all centers around a cemetery on Halloween. Next up, The Spirit of the Season. This one's fun. I like this. It's there's this older woman who works seasonally at essentially a Spirit Halloween, that pop-up Halloween store that opens every year around every fall. in a dead store, and she works at one that's inside a mall, and so we're learning about her, and then we're learning about the security guard that works at the mall, little kids trick or treating from store to store. Then the mall's going to close down. Things are going to happen, and I don't want to tell you anything else because that would spoil it. But this one's a lot of fun, and um, if I say it's my least favorite of the stories, it's still a really great story. We're talking like if the best story, if my favorite story, let's say I gave it 10, this is like a 9.7. That's how close, how good all of these stories are. Maybe a 9.6. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really good story. And then we have, find the last title, please. Hospitality. Possibly my favorite. It's right up there. It's really tough to pick a favorite out of all of these. But this one, it's a very political story, very timely story, which is why I liked it. Now, there are going to be people who don't agree with the politics of this story and will probably hate it. That's okay. Somer Canon's telling the stories she wants to tell. And this one, spiritual morality checks is what it says on the back cover. So that's all I'm going to give you. I don't want to spoil any of these stories, but absolutely loved this one. And then after that, there's, as it said, a couple of blog posts where Somer Canon talks about just some experiences she had while trick-or-treating. Adventures in Candy Soliciting is what that one's called. And then the Halloween Mood, where she talks about the Halloween mood. So obviously, Somer Canon, like so many of us, a huge fan of Halloween. Interestingly, lately, I've read a few blogs and things by horror authors who talk about how, because we are horror fans all year round, yeah, we go that little bit extra during Halloween, but some people don't necessarily feel it as much as they did when they were younger, before they were the hardcore horror fans that we are. A number of different authors writing blogs about that, but then especially once they have kids, sort of really getting back into it now, doing it vicariously through their kids, teaching their kids all the traditions and introducing them to all the things that they loved and still love, but it's different when it's yearly or year round as opposed to just once a year. I read horror all year round. When I'm watching movies, I watch horror movies all year round. But I do get excited. See, I like to put up some decorations. I like that there's horror movies everywhere on TV at this specific time of year. Yeah, they're easy to find all year round if you go to Netflix or Amazon, but they're being promoted now, and you're getting them everywhere. And when I watched network TV, I loved when they would have the regular sitcoms or dramas would have a Halloween episode. It was fantastic. So yeah, Somer Canon talks about this sort of thing. Again, the Halloween mood, trick-or-treating adventures, and it's just so well written. She crosses boundaries. Sometimes she pulls back and doesn't go quite as far. But she tells a great story. Somer Canon is just a fantastic author who should be much, much more well known. I think she's well known in horror circles, but there's so many authors, including people like Somer Canon, who I think should be just breaking out into the mainstream. So many of these stories would work in any anthology horror TV show. Are they still doing any? There was Creepshow. I don't know if Creepshow's still going on. Cabinet of Curiosities. I don't know if that's still going on. yeah, these stories would work perfectly well in any of those. Um, let's make that happen, folks. Contact Hollywood. Get them on the line. Get them looking at these stories. Halloween My Way, Somer Canon, 5 out of 5 stars. A fantastic little collection of short stories. Uh, so, recommendations. Well, there are a ton of great Halloween anthologies and short story collections. Ronald Kelly's Mr. Glowbones and other Halloween stories. Something. I didn't write any of these down, but Ronald Kelly, I believe, has 2 Halloween short story collections. Mr. Glowbones, I believe, is one. You can look up the other. And then, oh, now I can't remember the people's names, certain authors' names. Basically, to go along with this, any Halloween short story anthology or collection. I didn't make notes ahead of time, and so I can't give you specific names, unfortunately, except for Mr. Glowbones. But you know, you have Google. You can check it out yourself. That's what I do when I decide, I'm just going to read like Halloween short stories for this October. I just Google, find a bunch of books that I either have and forgot I have, or new books to pick up, and there's tons. There's half a dozen at least on my wish list on Amazon of books, autumnal horror that I haven't even picked up yet, and new ones coming out all the time. Question for this video: what are your thoughts on Halloween? You a big fan? You don't care? You think it's too commercial? Do we need to get back to sacrificing babies to Satan? The true meaning of Halloween, which isn't even at all the meaning of Halloween. But are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Do you read more horror or watch more horror movies during October? Or is it the same as it is for you generally? I have in the past, I think twice, I did the one horror movie every day during October. Haven't done that in a while. I have done like special Halloween reading. I think for the past few years, this year I had people vote on like 80s and 90s horror to read. But I think last year and possibly the year before, specifically autumn/Halloween horror books, new and old. One year it was reading the Pine Valley, the Jonathan Mayberry trilogy, with Ghost Road Blues and the others. I read those, and because they all take place at Halloween. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, I love. Again, I read horror and watch horror all year round, but I try to maybe theme things up around Halloween, and I do like to. I didn't get to go to Spirit Halloween this year because of being laid off, but I love going to Spirit Halloween. I still have a Camp Crystal Lake welcome mat out on the front porch. I have a Welcome to Haddonfield sign on my bedroom door, and there's a Beware of Zombie Cat sign hanging out front by the front door. That's only goes up for October, and then I have that. I switch it out. I have one with Sam from Trick or Treat with the rules of trick or treating or Halloween. So every other year, it's either going to be the Zombie Cat or the Sam, unless I get a new one next year. So yeah, I mean, I'm a fan, and I try to step things up a little bit during October. But what about you? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And if you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is at Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. And on Bluesky, I'm at EL Smith. And that's all I have for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.